Hi there, and a super warm welcome to CX Cube, our new video series where we dive deep into all the cutting-edge innovations in intelligent CX from SAP. I'm stoked to be chatting with Rishi today, who is product manager for our SAP Sales and Service Cloud Foundation. He's the go-to guy when it comes to data management, embedded artificial intelligence, and machine learning solutions. Rishi, it's so fantastic to have you here with us.
Hey Sven, my pleasure to be here today. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Before we dive into your demo, I've got 3 quick questions for you. First off, could you give us some insight into the reason behind our investment in generative AI scenarios and what can sales and service teams anticipate in terms of the benefits and capabilities that this technology will bring to the SAP Sales and Service Cloud solution?
Generative AI has been the buzzword all around. But what matters is deriving business value out of Gen AI, which SAP rightfully terms it as SAP Business AI. In terms of benefits and capabilities, the intent is to provide sales and service representatives with insightful information at every step of their selling and service journey, while they focus on high-value tasks. Each of the capabilities within Sales and Service Cloud version 2 are aimed towards this to provide AI assistance to sales and service reps at every touch point of their journey.
So, can you share some specific examples of how generative AI has already been put to use, as well as any upcoming scenarios on our roadmap?
Sure. For sales representatives, we provide account synopsis, which essentially is the insight into an account in terms of their competitive landscape, challenges, their customers, and so on. This gives sales reps a holistic overview of the account they are interacting with to understand their business more effectively and accordingly talk to them when a lead or an opportunity is in discussion. Besides, we also provide them Lead Booster, which is a set of crafted talking points when pitching certain products in a lead to an account or a customer. This in turn makes it more inevitable for a lead to be converted to an opportunity, making the pitch a bit more crafted and personalized. For service agents, what we have is Case Summary via Gen AI, which provides them a concise summary of the interactions which have taken place in the case. This is especially useful when the case is being handed over from one service team to another, or say from one processor to another, when majorly the time is spent on going through the email history and checking what has been discussed so far and to figure out what's next. Besides this, we also provide Email Draft Recommender, which crafts or generates email drafts on the opportunity and case entities when making product proposals or replying to customers with status updates or sending them KVAs. This is something which helps them to avoid manual intervention of writing emails right from scratch or using the static templates, thus making the email communication more effective and personalized.
Alright, I see. Hey Rishi, before we get into your demo, I have one last question for you. How can customers make use and take full advantage of these cutting-edge generative AI solutions? Is it as simple as administrators and key users just activating them within their system?
Absolutely. The Gen AI capabilities are pretty easy to activate. These are right from the admin settings within the tenant where these capabilities can be activated, and on top of it, the admins also have an option to try out or test these features via the test console within the admin settings, such that they can activate these capabilities for the end users only once they are satisfied with the results the output yields.
Hi, welcome to the demo of Gen AI capabilities in SAP Sales and Service Cloud V2. As we know, we have launched a bunch of Gen AI capabilities powered by LLMs in SAP Sales and Service Cloud version 2 to empower the sales reps and service agents in their day-to-day business operations to make it quicker and easier for them to focus more on the value-added tasks. Now, let's walk through each capability and see how it is of advantage to the respective sales rep and service agents when they perform their day-to-day activities in the system. So to start with, let's get started with the sales part. Here I am logged into an SAP Sales and Service Cloud version 2 tenant, and let me go to lead for an example. Now this is a sample lead which I have opened. assuming that it's a lead to cash scenario, and this is where a lead is generated. As we see here, this is a lead for SAP CX for Aller Energy TE. Now, if I go down quickly to the list of products, what I see is the SAP Sales Cloud is added as a product in this lead. And what I also see here is a lead booster tab. Now, when it comes to sales reps discussing with the respective contacts of an account, when discussing them about the product, what matters at most is how you're able to talk about the product and how you pitch it to them such that it feels more contextual and how it benefits them. So this is where the lead booster comes in exactly to give that talking points or the pitch points to the sales rep and make it available right away as part of the screen of lead itself. Now in the lead booster UI, what you see is certain objectives. Now when the sales rep is nurturing the lead or discussing about the products in the lead with the respective account or a contact, what matters is essentially the background about the account as well as how relevant the product could be to the respective account in their day-to-day operations and how it could benefit them, and correspondingly what are the advantages or the plus points of the respective product ahead of the competition. Now, what we see here is also to understand a bit as in the challenges that this company, Alul Energy, might be facing, how SAP Sales Cloud can address these challenges, also with respect to the customer goals, how the product aligns with the customer goals, what are the pain points, the benefits of SAP Sales Cloud, the customization and scalability, the competitive advantage, and so on. Now, as you see, these are not just certain statements, but rather quite in depth in terms of whichever category or objective needs to be looked into in detail. The sales rep can expand on that and have a look in terms of what can be pitched to the customer with respect to this product. Now, this is how the large language models or generative AI makes it easier for a sales rep to nurture the lead and finally get it converted to an opportunity. Now, this is where the lead booster comes in handy as a first point when the lead to cash scenario is considered, and a sales rep is essentially using the lead to further nurture it and get it converted. Now, with the second assumption, let's assume that lead booster helped the sales rep to convert this lead into an opportunity. What I'm doing is opening another sample opportunity, which is for Sales Cloud V2, but this time it's for a different account, which is Seabond Industries. So we see here in the product list that it is the SAP Sales Cloud product which is added to this particular opportunity. And usually we are quite aware of getting emails with product proposals. Now, this is something which a sales rep would usually do in terms of sending product proposals. And rather than drafting an email manually or using a standard template for sharing the product information, what comes in here handy is the GenAI powered email draft recommender, wherein the sales rep can select product proposal email as one of the available options, change the style, tone, and length as desired to craft a response which is contextual, personalized, taking into account the product which is part of this opportunity as well as how it fits the respective customer. Now, I quickly click on generate draft and I see that the magic happens behind the scenes, and what I get is a crafted reply right away explaining what SAP Sales Cloud is all about and how it could benefit Seabond Industries and so on. So all this information on clicking on apply comes to the email editor, and the sales rep is now empowered to tweak this as required. But what we get as a starting point is not a blank slate or static template, but rather a contextual response which is drafted and which can be used by the sales rep to send a product proposal email. Now, this is the power of email draft recommender on the opportunity side, which is assisting the sales rep to perform their day-to-day job better by pitching certain advantages or even sending product proposal emails which are customized, personalized, and well crafted. And now coming to say either a sales rep or a service agent for that matter handling a case or maybe nurturing an opportunity which is handed over from another sales rep and so on. Maybe, yeah, the sales rep and the service agent might not have a detailed information about what the account is, what their business entails, what is the quantum of volume of data or the business that the account is garnering. Now, this is where the account synopsis, which is the third capability that comes in, wherein on the account screen, we have the account synopsis tab where it's A to Z about the respective account when it comes to the business overview, the challenges, the competition, the business strategies, and so on. Now, this is something which can be accessed right within the system rather than sales rep hunting for this information outside and looking through it in terms of what the account does or what is the day-to-day business of the account. And this is the power of GenAI where, all this comes right within the system, and hence we call it as embedded within the system so that, the sales rep need not go out of the system to look for any information, but all this detailed information is available right in the account screen. Now, switching gears a bit in context of service. So, as we know, the usual service journey involves case management or case creation for any issue or problem being reported via any of the channels, be it chat, be it social media, and so on. Now, when it comes to a case being handed over from one service team to another, or say even from one processor to another, it becomes quite a tedious task to go through each of the email interactions that have been exchanged back and forth, as in the initial problem, then the reply from the agent, the corresponding reply back, and so on. Now, this is something which is quite tedious when a new processor or a new service agent takes over the case to resolve. And here again the power of GenAI comes in via the case summary, which is generated via GenAI, considering all the interactions within the case and giving a crisp summary of what has happened so far and the next steps. Now here, just from the summary, we understand that contact from RL Energy had purchased a monitor. This was found not to be working. A technician visit is arranged. The address has been confirmed. The timing has been confirmed, and so on. Now, this is something which is available right away rather than going through each of the interactions which have been taken place so far, just thus helping the service agent to strategize on what the next step could be rather than looking through what has happened in the past and spending time on that. With this, also comes in is the email draft recommender on the case side. Now, what we have is email draft recommender here as well, wherein there are certain prompts available in terms of whether the agent needs to provide a status update, provide the service level timelines, or even share relevant KB articles. Now, this is where the email draft recommender comes in, which again gives an edge rather than using static templates or crafting an email from scratch. So let me quickly generate a draft for, say, sharing a KB article, and I quickly apply this. Now, this is where it comes in handy to share this email, and what I simply need to do is say look out for, or rather have already looked out for a KBA, and what I do is simply use this, going back to the email generated, and what I need to simply do is just paste it here and use it as needed. So this is how a KBA can be recommended, with simply copying a link and sending the email right away, with obviously certain edits which the agent might have to do before sending this out right away. With that, I cover almost all the capabilities that have been released so far for Sales and Service Cloud version 2, and there's more upcoming that we would see in the coming quarters. And also to touch upon the admin part, wherein what we do is basically the activation. That is what we would also be seeing in terms of what activation, or rather how easier it is to activate all these scenarios for the end users. Now, when it comes to activating GenAI capabilities, as we saw during the demo, this is also something which is not set of steps to be done, but rather it's in a couple of clicks that an admin can activate each of these capabilities right away. So here I am into the admin settings, wherein I see an option of generative AI scenarios, which are listed here. And the 4 scenarios that we saw were the case summary, the email draft recommender, account synopsis, and lead booster. Each of these listed here. And when it comes to case summary, for example, the activation is quite simple in terms of activating the scenario, setting up whether the update is manual or an automatic after each interaction. And correspondingly, the admin can also configure this in terms of which fields to be included or excluded, as well as also entering a sample case ID and generating the summary for the same to get a feel of what the summary looks like before activating or updating the automation for the end users. The same applies, or the admin menu looks more or less the same for each of these scenarios. Even the email draft recommender, it's a simple activation with a configuration for each of the entities in terms of the prompts that should be enabled for the end users, and correspondingly also with a test console to see how the crafted emails look like before making it available for the end users. With account synopsis and lead booster, the admin has an option to enable only certain objectives which are relevant for the organization. So it's not that it's overload of information, but rather only the objectives which the admin thinks are much more relevant for the sales rep or the service agent to have a look through can be enabled and be made visible on the end user UI. So that's how the activations look like, with no trainings or nothing to be done as such in terms of the models for GenAI scenarios. But yeah, it's just an activation at the click of a button, configuring certain aspects which are also available via the UI and making it available for the end users to leverage the benefit of GenAI via each of these capabilities. Thank you.
Welcome to the world of SAP Intelligent CX. Our comprehensive suite of applications seamlessly integrates front-end and back-end systems, providing a unified and streamlined approach to managing customer interactions. We incorporate artificial intelligence that allows your team to work smarter and faster, and our industry-tailored use cases and partner ecosystem empowers organizations to deliver extraordinary experiences, build lasting relationships, and drive sustainable growth. Our composable SAP Customer Experience Suite enables leading brands to understand and protect customer data, increase lifetime value with personalized journeys, close more business faster, drive consistently profitable commerce outcomes, and deliver automated and agent-assisted service. Learn how you can deliver extraordinary customer experiences. Visit sap.com/cx.